Yo.
Oh, my bad.
Can you hear me? Oh, big shouts to Five Below in the building.
Oh,
it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, for
but
real.
Big shouts.
Slap that off the
We're gonna take that down.
Yeah. Get it up out of here.
Yo. Good morning, folks.
Good morning. Man. Top of the morning. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Happy
yeah, it's
Saturday.
episode 83.
83, yeah. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday, March 22nd.
Yo,
spring.
Man.
Didn't spring come in the other day, I think? I lose track of these things, man. Spring day. As they say, Happy New Year.
I'm saying. So you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yo, you don't hear me.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Yep. I can hear you.
Oh, for real. Yo, my thing is bugging out. Like, yeah, no, I see you. I'm monitoring the stream and I see you and hear you. But
in the room you don't see me?
In the studio, I don't see you and don't hear. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's yeah.
All right, so hold up. Let me pop out and pop back in.
The ultimate in.
Can you hear me now? Can you see me?
Got you. I'll hold it down.
All right.
Nah, it's like it's black. Yo, it's straight up. So anyway, we trying to make things happen right now. It's a technical, and this very well could be on my end. I don't have no idea what's going on because he's clearly on the stream.
Can you hear me now?
And I'm clearly there's something going on here. But this is live television, people. Let's see. And we're trying to figure it out. Thanks for joining. Oh yeah. All right, he hit me up. Yeah, all right. This totally could be on my end. Having some internet, switching studios, switching locations, things like that. I don't know what's going on here. But there's always a plan B, people. Always a plan B. So, welcome to the stream and all that. We trying to get it done right here. Let's see what's going on. He's in there. So I tell you what, let me try to get my act together, and you can speak to people.
Yeah. No doubt.
See if there's something on my end.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and get the situation fixed up there. Welcome again on this beautiful Saturday to everyone. Thank you for everyone that's joining in. Hello. Good morning to our followers, our Saturday joiners. Definitely cool. It is March 22nd, as I was saying before. We're in spring mode. Tax time. Getting ready to complete a quarter. So we got 3 more quarters to go. Is your paperwork prepared and ready to get filed? Do you have your books and information in order? No more receipts. Use a document saving system where it can save those receipts so you can get rid of the paper and automate, right? So yeah, while we get this technical difficulty under control, I think normally we talk about the book of the week. I've actually read a couple of different books this week. Let's see. Let me share what we have going on here. I finally read that meditations book that James talked about, which was pretty cool. So check it out, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. One of the other books I listened to was The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and Think Like an Entrepreneur, Act Like a CEO. Two good books. Two good books, great books. The Power of the Subconscious Mind gave some good keys. One of the keys was what you feed your subconscious mind when you don't even think about it. So, for example, I listen to certain things, audiobooks and certain things when I go to sleep at night. Sometimes, most of the time, I should say. And so it's playing into my subconscious mind, and it's going to pick up and help me kind of just stay focused on the journey and the goal that I'm trying to achieve here as a business owner, right? So, again, audiobooks, regular books, let's read. So, again, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and then Think Like an Entrepreneur, Act Like a CEO. That's a really good book, too. That's a really, really good book. You might want to check that one out for those entrepreneurs that have their business and are trying to be better in business, right? Definitely check that out. Think Like an Entrepreneur, Act Like a CEO. I'm trying to give you some highlights here. So, it won't share with me. Let's see. One of the key points is to start something new, you need a good plan. It's one of their key points there. Think like an entrepreneur no matter what. Think ahead like a CEO. Develop the correct mindset because you're always thinking about future growth. So staying strategic, seeking advice, staying strategic, thinking in growth mode, staying constantly in growth mode. Whatever challenges you experience, finances, operational, finding good people to hire, figuring out how to hire good people, how to train, how to keep those people. Again, future forward thinking, right? Stay forward thinking, strategic. Challenges will be challenges. You're just paying the tuition of learning, right? Some of us go to school to get a degree to become a super professional. Some of us have that accolade or that certification or that diploma, and then we are employees until we're our own business owners. Some of us just right into the business world, and so that's your university. Your experience that you come across, that is the experience of the business world, right? So you're paying tuition for the experiences and the lessons learned along the way. Get used to it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Embrace the challenges. Embrace the emotional aspect of it. Don't be emotional, but understand that we all have emotions, energy, and motion, right? So again, continue to move forward with the entrepreneurial attributes, taking action. That's the entrepreneurial attributes, taking action. Thinking like a CEO is the thought. Pinky in the Brain. I don't know if anyone heard of that cartoon, Pinky in the Brain. Yeah, Pinky and the Brain, right? So be your own Pinky in the Brain, if you will. You know, are we back in? Are you there?
It looks like I'm back.
Can you hear me and see me?
I can hear and see you.
Oh man, look at that. This is what we do. I'm just telling them about forward thinking, no matter the transition or the challenges, it's the part of you paying the tuition. That's the tuition you pay for the lessons that you learn.
Amen.
So I'm glad to have you back in the building, sir.
Yeah, I was in the in the Matrix or something.
Yeah, it's all good. That's because you left the production studio for a little bit of time. Yeah, LaShondra, you love Pinky in the Brain. Yeah. Now, but watch this. It's funny because as we're older, if we look back at certain cartoons, it was giving us a lot of subliminal information. So Pinky in the Brain is pretty dope. I was just telling them about two books that I touched on this week. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, right? And some of the key, one of the key things they talked about is what you feed subconscious mind unconsciously, right? So I was giving them one of my strategies is listening to audiobooks as I'm fading out into my sleep and just feeding my subconscious mind so it keep me focused, right? And then think like an entrepreneur and act like a CEO. That's a good book.
That sounds interesting.
That's a good book.
So what's our thesis there? Think like an entrepreneur. Let's define those terms. See.
So it's strategic. So 2 words I'm gonna use: strategy and tactics. Right. So strategy is thinking about the things that need to be done when there's nothing to do. Right. And tactics are doing the things that need to be done when something is done. So let's wrap that up. An entrepreneur takes action. If you don't go out and hustle, if you don't go out and walk the streets, if you don't go and communicate, build your networks, build your relationships. The momentum, you have to create momentum and keep the momentum going. That's taking action. The CEO side is strategic. It's what is going to happen in the future. How do we make what we want to happen in the future and still prepare for what's not going to happen in the future, such as risk management, right? So the CEO is supposed to have the what is it? The foresight, hindsight, and I'm missing one sight.
Yeah.
Hindsight, foresight, and then another one in a minute. It's not. That's a good word, but no, it's not. It's another word, but whatever. Hindsight, insight, foresight. Call it what you
want. Third eye, whatever. I
don't know. So that's a pretty good that was a pretty good read right there.
That's a good one. But I mean I think I will say once again, some of these books, they're not relegated to business only.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's life.
Right.
Some of it is like, I think people take that for granted too. Like we don't have a strategy for life. Some people just out here, man. They just doing whatever. It's like, I mean, not to get too, well, why not? We'll get God body. I was just speaking with a colleague and yesterday, and I straight up, I said, yo, do you think what you're doing now is the reason you were put on earth?
There you go.
Is this really why you are here? What you doing? I was just like, yo, think about it. Like this what I'm here for. And answering yes or no is not necessarily an easy thing to answer. But as we mature, you gotta think about that. Like what, like am I, especially if you want some mess, like if you doing nothing or doing very little, you like, I mean, is this why I've been gifted life to do this? Some heavy stuff, man. See, look at that. I was in the matrix. That's why my matrix was glitched out.
See, they try and block your messaging.
No doubt. All day, every day. That's why it's so, but I mean, that's what goes to strategy. Like, man, when you figure it out, remember, I don't know if I mentioned it before, and Jim Collins talked about it. We got mission, strategy, and tactics. See, your mission is your purpose. Like, what's your purpose? What is your purpose? When you get in tune to that, okay, now you can implement the strategy. I'm not gonna, fulfill this purpose, and then the tactic. So it aligns with business. We talk about business and life, but a small business person, the business is your life, and not in a sick way or anything, but perverse way. But still, it's your purpose.
No, yeah. One of my blog posts that I'm working on.
Oh, your blog, son.
My blog, right, is your business set up to support your lifestyle?
Oh, absolutely.
Therefore, I'm putting some juice in that one right there.
Yeah, but I'll expand it. I mean, does your job support your lifestyle, or does your lifestyle support your job? Question, right? You know, I mean, it's people who live for their jobs. And they
Yeah, I
work.
mean, it is, that is what it is. But see, yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, it's a
I'm thinking
mentality.
it's because it's mental, right? So
Yeah,
this
it's a
blog post for the biz therapy folks,
yeah. Well, this
or
is
business people,
well, no,
right?
I'm saying to agree with it, but to also show that it expands. So that's what
Yeah, without a doubt.
this
But
therapy.
the difference is if you leave a light on at the job, that doesn't affect you per se.
No, and in your mind it doesn't. But I'm saying, you know, I mean, I might be a subject ahead, but I think the workforce has gone through a fundamental change, and it's changing right in front of people's eyes. And I've
True.
always said this, even when I worked, that having a job is an entrepreneurial venture now. The minute that they took away pensions, you really on your own.
Right.
Because a pension was you work, you put in for the company, and then when your body broke down, we took care of you till you die. When they moved that to a 401k, they essentially were saying, yo, you had to save for your own.
Right.
Now, the way things are going, there's a method to my madness now. The way things are going, everything that they seem to take away from workers is putting you in a position where you on your own. You got to figure your stuff out. You got to make these companies ain't taking care of you. So you have an entrepreneurial venture within the job, and which may lead you to just say, you know what, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. That's the way I'm. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that to land in the space where we talk about, you know, don't think that because you have a job that this stuff doesn't necessarily apply to you, because they don't care about you. Yeah, I said it.
You know, it's funny. I was reading something a while ago on why 401k was even started.
Mm-hmm. What did it say?
To influence the economy.
Oh yeah, to boost the economy. Yeah.
To keep us out of recession mode, right?
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because I didn't even know that. You know, back when I used to work and contribute to the 401k, and the company contribute to the 401k. I'm like, yeah, I got a 401k. My joint is popping. Got me a couple percent. Got me a high single digit percentage in my joint. You know.
Yeah.
But when you peel it back and you go to the root, you're like, wait a minute. Wow. Interesting information. Information is just interesting. But yeah, to your point, yeah.
No, I'm just saying that. No, I'm making a plug for us that, you know, the stuff that we say, we focus on business, but if you just shift something to the left or the right, it really can apply to you in workforce, or you want to move out of workforce into your own business. This stuff happens. Like, you got to have strategy. And my whole point, I jumped because of what's happening out here. That you have to understand. Sometimes you ain't got to understand nothing, all right? But think about what's happening and say, oh, wow. And what you're just saying, I know this from accounting. When we, and I don't, you know what? I don't know anybody that's taken accounting recently. But when I took accounting, we used to account for pensions. The thing about a pension is, from on the accounting exercise, the money was never there for a pension. They were never funded. So they do something, you know, for us. They accrue it based on future, but the money isn't there. It's not there. So you can have a pension, and I guess it happened a lot because of really the generation for the baby boomers. They can handle it. And they probably saw the baby boomers and they were like, if we give these people pensions, we're going to go broke because there's so many of them down the line. Our future earnings don't have to go to pay pensions. You know what? Let's create this new thing. where they take care of themselves in retirement, it's cheaper for us to match your contributions than for us to give you a defined benefit on the back end. So those of you that have pensions, God bless, you got it. But most folks, you ain't got no pension. Some people, certain cities do something like that. But businesses, private businesses, and the government, the once secure job federal government, oxymoron, has, they saying it. And this the whole thing with Social Security. That what they did was, so your pension, and I don't know if people really pay attention to this, your 401k, your 403b is in the stock market. So it was they said, okay, we're going to give them 3%. They're going to be in funds. We're getting a piece of it back anyway. So now our valuation, so the bosses, the people that got more stock, they get more money because you buying. They got individual stocks. They're pooling your money together to go buy. It drives the price of stock up. I got individual stocks. Hey, look at this. I can sell. Boom. That's why they put a penalty on it. Don't take it out. We don't really want you to take it out. We want you to get in there until you get 62 and 59 and a half. Hold it down. If it's an IRA, you got to keep it to your 70. But I got your money locked in the market so I can eat. But I really wonder how many people associate their 401ks to the stock market. Like they really,
That's a good question. That's a real good question.
Like, I don't think they realize that. Then they sitting there and they're like, oh, well, wait a minute. And so, some people who out there, and I'm not going to make it political, but you might be rooting for certain stocks to go down, but you might have an interest in it. You don't even know. You might straight up. So it's just a big thing. But to keep it full circle back to, the strategy thing. But these are the things that I say where strategy, you got to understand what's going on. They got us intertwined right now, man. You jammed up, bro. We jammed up like this, like that. So it's so hard to be one way or the other. But hey, man, you gotta. So I just say this to all my folks out here that's on the grind. Like, hey, gotta take care of yourself, man. Like it's serious. And if you can do something in our space, in entrepreneurial space or something, if you have something to do, like, go ahead and explore it. Because I mean, if you in your 50s and your 40s, you can't depend on Social Security. They're trying to take Social Security and do the same thing. They're trying to take Social Security and take that money and put it in the stock market. Everybody, that's when they say they're trying to privatize Social Security. They want to get the money in the stock market. But it's going to benefit the people that have individual stocks, the people that run these companies, and they get these options, all these numbers. A lot of this wealth is paper wealth, by the way. It's wealth on paper. We love to do that in the United States. Wealth on paper. So
right.
I mean,
Right.
Like I'm just, I told you, man. It's the T, man.
I'm letting you run.
Let me run there. You trying
to letting you run. I got to spark you up,
Yeah, you got me gassed, man.
You was dragging this morning, so we didn't have our production meeting. We was going back in time with some music.
Yeah, but I think that's what got me up, though. So that's what hyped me up. But that Coogee rap, man. Coogee rap, yo. Hell, man. But anyway, no, but that's what Social Security is happening. That's the goal, and they're going to do it at some point. I honestly, of course, going to privatize Social Security or a portion of it.
It's been a long haul for that whole objective anyway.
Yeah, because think about when they say entitlements, that's what a pension was. Right. You were entitled to a pension. So they shifted that. So they're like, whoa, look at this. Look at all this money that we can have in the stock market.
Right.
Push the Dow ridiculous to like 100,000 or something. All this money we got here that we can't touch.
Right.
You gotta pay to the people, and you know the way Social Security works. Social Security isn't funded, so they rely upon the younger generation to
pay into
it for the older generation. So, so when people say I paid into Social Security, they did, but you was actually paying for your parents. Correct. Now, so it's gonna hit the road. That's why I don't ever Social Security. I don't even. I'll be like, yeah, I don't. Whatever, that ain't happening. Why? Because I look at the younger generation. I'm like, yo, these cats ain't. Yeah, whatever. They, yeah, right.
They definitely not thinking about that.
Yeah, they not. I mean, the job force gonna be different. Like they switch jobs every the way some people switch underwear. They not gonna sit.
I think it's 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years now.
Yeah, they dip, and that's kind of the way the workforce goes. That's right. So if you adding Social Security to your mix and think it's gonna be your retirement, well, there's a bridge for sale in Brooklyn. You know that you.
No,
come see me.
A lot of money for that.
You want to buy a bridge in Brooklyn if you believe. That's like I just tell people like
you got an invoice for them. You got
absolutely whatever you need. You can write it off on your taxes too. Why not? And it's like that. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but I'm gonna let you talk because when I get to that, it's gonna be serious.
I mean, you know,
this is gonna be serious, man. I can't.
Let's go. Let's go to it because you're not off. Well,
let me finish this point then, because I don't want people
you're not off of it. So let's go.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, look. So what do we have to do? We have to protect ourselves both in business and wage earners. And I would just say, you know, don't anticipate Social Security. Don't anticipate Medicare. I don't know. You know, it's sometimes whatever, but you have to prepare yourself in the event that these things change. It's not so much that they go away, that they're going to be different.
Right.
So what do? When you hit this retirement age, when you retire from sitting behind a computer because your body is just broken down, you know, you got carpal tunnel and you know your
knees hurt, your back hurt.
Yeah, because you did that hard labor sitting behind a computer, eating snacks all day.
Shoot. Or you just did hard labor, period.
Now, if you did hard labor, I mean, yo, I get it. But I'm saying the majority of people in workforce, man, come on, man. Like we work hard, huh?
Well, I think the imbalance is the laborious work.
Yeah, but what it is it affects your brain. It was boring. It was repetitive, but
slows you down a little bit. It slows you down a little bit.
It does. But what I'm trying to say is that your age, as long as your brain is working, you're able to perform many of these tasks.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying
it's supposed to grow with age.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the retirement system and retirement in our culture was built on they couldn't do the work anymore physically. It was like It was over.
Right.
So the concept of retirement has to change because it's not. Yeah, I think now I'm one to stress. I mean, stress is what'll put you into retirement now. You get stressed out. You can and it's real. It is absolutely real. There's a physical effect to stress. I'm living proof, and most of us are. There's an absolute thing, and this can be the new deal that your stress threshold is 65. You can't take it no more. I gotta check out. But what I'm saying is that we have to look and we deal with a lot of mid 20th century concepts. We still dealing with. Yeah. So you got to think about it differently. So my thing is always that you're gonna have to continue to make money. So if you think it's this golden age of 59 and a half or 62 and all that, you're gonna have to continue to make money. So you're gonna have to be in the system one way or the other, have your own situation, something on the side. It's not negating what whatever retirement you got, but you're gonna have to or you're gonna have to really pay attention to the stock market with your 401k, 403B and your annuities, you need to be in tune. You need to get with a financial advisor that they do that all day. Just like we deal with businesses and accounting and tax, financial advisors and planners look at the stock market every day, multiple times, all the time. They're not necessarily oracles and they're going to give you, because anyone that tells you, yeah, I can make you rich, stay far away from them, because all you're going to do is make them rich. So, but these folks they do this stuff all the time. I speak to multiple financial planners and people would think, oh, well, you're an accountant, you whatever. Yeah, and there's stuff I do on my own, but I still speak with these people because it's what they do. I respect the profession. Go holler at them. So, that's just my rant for that. I don't know. That's your fault, man. That's all it is.
It's my fault.
It's your fault, man.
I gotta listen, man. Sometimes I gotta create controversial thoughts so I can get you engaged. You know what I mean?
Well, that CEO to entrepreneur thing. I'm gonna tell you what. It wasn't even what got me was that we use these terms. We use a lot of terms loosey goosey. You know what I'm saying? So we
semantic terms. They're romantic terms.
Yeah, I'm CEO. But I mean, like I said, I just say, how can you be the chief over nobody? Chief over yourself?
There's 3 people working for the organization, right? Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you were sophisticated to think like that, I get it. But most people like CEO.
Yeah, it's the shiny things, man. That's all it is. It's the shiny things versus what it actually means, right? So just because, for example, what we run into a lot of is, yeah, I have an LLC. Are you a sole proprietorship or you an S corp?
No,
I'm an LLC. I have a tax ID. Yeah, I'm an LLC. I have a tax ID, right? So when we run across that, now there's a short educational curve, right? Anytime you get a tax ID, you're gonna automatically default to sole proprietorship, which equals LLC at the end. That's it. Like, unless you're filling out a form to change entity type,
partners, or there's multiple people,
or have partners, right? So it's one or the other, right? But yeah, to your point, it's the shiny things. It's the shiny words, right? So
yeah. People like playing business owner. It's like a Halloween costume. Yeah, that's it. Come on, I could be real petty right now.
Nah, we don't do that here, man. We educate our people.
It's the home of the petty. What are you talking about? I'm silencing it for 25, right?
We have petty moments.
Oh, well, that's
true. We have petty moments. This ain't the home of pettiness. This the home of sharpening. We sharpen people over here.
Yo, that was my verse for the day.
Yes, it was. Oh yeah. We sharpen even with our our linguistic approach, like those syllables, right?
The linguistic. You need a thesaurus to a dictionary. You might just need a dictionary. So,
we sharpen over here. We try to educate. We try to sharpen. But we do have petty moments because we deal with petty situations.
Exactly. People. That's a bad way to go.
So sometimes we come on here and we exfoliate that.
That's a great segue. That's a great way to say it. Because now, all right. Now back to my day job.
There you go. Because
taxes.
Let's talk about taxes. Taxes. I was telling them March 22nd. It's March 22nd. We're getting ready to come out of Q1. 3 more quarters to go.
But most of y'all still thinking about 2024. so they haven't even paid attention to 2025. So.
Well, no, because not until it really start warming up, that's when people come out.
Yeah, but
they're like the bugs. We like bugs, man. When the heat come out, we come out.
No, absolutely. But I'm just saying, in this discipline, you know, this is what makes it difficult, like when you're working with people, because it's like you take one quarter, you don't even think about the current year.
Yeah,
because you're so focused on the previous year because of tax compliance and stuff. And then, you know, by the time this finished, then it's really hot. And then, you know, it gets cool in the fourth quarter, and you're like, whatever. And then first quarter, you start thinking about this year. So the fourth quarter next year, you think about this year. And then that's when we get these calls. I want to do some tax planning. Well, you want, I mean, yeah, okay. But how you can't plan for something that already happened. It already happened. You can't plan for it. So, all right, good luck. All right, so here we are. Tax season. Yay. It's pretty good. It's going pretty good. Seeing quite a few things I want to bring up. Keep everybody anonymous. But, and once again, I will continue to make this statement. The IRS is not closing. It's not closing. And
they got remote workers.
No, well, it's even simpler than that.
Look at that. My man.
It's very simple.
Cool T. Cool T said, yo, what up, Coach K, huh? Okay, Cool T. You know, rename me, huh?
No doubt. I like that. Really does fit, though. That's all right there. So
yeah, I mean, Coach K's is out there, though. You know what I'm saying? Coach Cole. You know what I mean? It's different.
Whatever. We call you Coach K.
Y'all call me what y'all want, huh? Y'all call me what you want to call me.
So Coach K, it's got a ring to it, though. So
yeah.
So, you know, as I said, it's not closing. And it's very, very simple, people. Your congressmen and women, your senators, your cabinet, your president, your vice president, all of them. How do these people, what is the source of income for their paychecks? Anybody? Bueller.
Taxes.
Whoa, guess what? Taxes. Where do you think these people get paid from?
Hold on, you gotta slow it down. You gotta repeat that, bro.
Okay, well, I will repeat it.
Where? That's the question.
What is the source of monies to pay your congresspeople, your senators, your cabinet, your vice president and president, and your military?
Taxes.
Payer dollars.
Taxes.
So, I don't know about you, and I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say it, because I don't think it's said enough. The internal revenue.
Look at this. No, I ain't even gonna put that one up there. Okay, Kimberly, got you.
Yeah, them too. No. To be clear, that's their side hustle money.
You know what? I just saw an article on they cracking down on side hustles. I didn't even read it. I bookmarked it so I could go back and read it.
Well, yeah, all that right there is, I'm talking about their W-2s. I ain't talking I'm not talking about how they get rich. That's how they get rich. All that right there, Ken Jones trying to get me flagged out here, man.
Yeah, for real.
But it's all good. But you're 100% correct. But that's how they side money. So I'm just going for the IRS. Like, okay, so how do they do that? All right. So where did the monies come from? It comes from taxpayer dollars. Now, I've said before, the Internal Revenue Service works for the Congress, not for the president. All tax bills originate in the House of Representatives, where all the wahoos are saying they want to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service, which they can. They can tomorrow if they were actually in D.C. to vote for something. They could get rid of it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They say, you know what? We get rid of this article of the United States Code. We're getting rid of it. No longer taxing.
So let's break this. No, let's break this all the way down. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's break this down. Elected officials, as you just said, taxes paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Government employees.
Okay.
Let's see. Teachers, police officers and firefighters, military, you said that. 8 IRS agents, postal workers, right? Administrators and agencies, aka Social Security, EPA, HUD, etc. Right? Then we got the services and the infrastructures of the country. So your roads, your bridges, public transportation. There's always an orange detour sign somewhere in the world, all the time. Especially on 95. There's always working on something. Public education, clean water, food inspection, and disaster response. Research and innovation. I'm just chowing it down for folks, right?
To bring it to light to them.
And then, of course, most of our money goes towards paying the interest on national debt, right?
And does anybody ever think about who we're paying?
Hold on, come back to that. Schools, libraries, community colleges, parks and recreation, road maintenance. So when you see them cutting the grass on the highway or trimming the trees, that's where your money's going. Mm-hmm. All right. So now, go ahead. I find this right here. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is this. What I'm trying to say is that you got people running around here talking about, they think that getting rid of IRS will put more money in their pocket, but their life would be terrible. And on top of that, Title 26 of the United States Code, which was, I'm never good with these amendments. So you remember the tax amendment, which I don't want to say it wrong because I don't want people to say you're supposed to be a tax guy, you don't know which amendment gives people the United States the right to tax. But I'm gonna get it up here right. But it gives the right to do taxes. What people don't understand is that the tax rate used to be excise tax. It used to be like 70%. Something crazy.
It still is 70%.
Nah, not the actual taxes. The taxes, like our taxes are ridiculously low as a percentage. The dollar, so it's the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment gave the United States the right to tax income.
Mm-hmm.
See, they used to tax rich people primarily.
Right.
Only. And they were like, nah, dog, we rich. We ain't trying to see all that. You know what I'm saying? So let's make some moves. Let's spread it out among the people. Then they started with income tax. So they did it. Now everybody's getting fat. They getting fat and they sitting there. But guess what? So they created the Internal Revenue Service to collect the taxes from the citizens. Something like that. But what's a better way? This is what I'm saying. This is human nature. Without you knowing, I send the collections guy. I'm a bookie. I send the collections guy to go get the money you owe me. You complain, and I blame the book. I blame the collections guy. I blame the Shylock. I say, I don't know why he's coming to get you. You know what? I'm gonna talk to him. He shouldn't be so hard on you all the time. When I'm telling him, yo, if he ain't got my money, you need to handle it. Right. But then you complain, and I say, yeah, I'll go talk to him. He was a little rough on you. We don't need to do business like that. So what I'm trying to tell you people, you're being hustled. The United States Congress has absolutely no intent, and the president has no intent because he the budget buster, so he need the money. He's sitting up here talking about manifest destiny in all these countries. How you gonna pay for it? Like, wait, it's just amazing to me how people, their emotions get into stuff, and then they're like, oh yeah, I like the good ones. Well, man, when they close the IRS, you ain't gonna have no job.
Yeah.
Well, let me explain something to you. Aside from the fact that it's not closing, Americans can't count past 10. Accountants will always have a job. We'll be doing something. Unless they get rid of money, there'll be a role around here. Okay. Now, I also want to tell you something. Why the IRS will not be closing. And you will not get rid of this industry. Do you think, let's just imagine here, TurboTax. We all know TurboTax, right? Forget us little guys like us,
We're not sponsored by them.
This ain't about. No, this is just who it is, man. It's TurboTax. KPMG, the big four. You may have heard of KPMG, Ernst Young. I don't even know. Price Waterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your BDOs. You got all this. Do you think they don't have lobbyists? I mean, do you really believe that they don't have lobbyists?
Yeah, but you got to break down that word.
Oh, well, back to Kim Jones' point. That's the one person. Yeah, she missed. But that's how the billionaire pay goes through. The lobbyists. Lobbyists it's the equivalent of the $100 handshake that used to happen in college sports. Do you really believe that all these people making money, especially this time of year, and two is making all types of money, but y'all doing your tax returns for free until you do the state, are just going to say, oh, okay, no problem, we shut it down, we get it out of there? That's what they're going to do, huh? They're not going to pay somebody to say, like, are you kidding me? And in most of these cases, and by the way, the executive branch can't just close it, by the way. I mean, they can't just say, oh, we out. But that's why they stop teaching civics in school. So no one knows how the government works.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know how it works, I can tell you anything. I can do that. So this is a big thing. I know this is wasn't what you were expecting to talk about.
Blah, 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 blah.
This wasn't what you expected. You were coming thinking I was going to tell you, if you make this one change, I can save you $20,000 on your taxes. But make sure you save that $20,000 in case you end up in Leavenworth. But don't worry about that. I can save you the money. That's right. But I ain't going to sign your tax return either. I can't let it come back to me because this is top secret. This is what the rich people do, save all the money. That's what you thought you was going to hear there today. Nope. Sorry. Can't do it. Because first of all, I wouldn't need a CPA license to do that. What's the point of me getting a license if I'm on the hustle mode? What did I go through this pain for? But anyhow, so I just had it went further. I'm just saying, look, the IRS is not closing, and if they close, they'll make something else. It's like, how are they gonna get the money? Everybody on Capitol Hill eating on the books. Oh, and that's
it'd be bad if that closed anyway. It'd be bad if they closed anyway.
Yeah, but
really bad.
Well, this is my other point. You know what's really, and I've said this before, what's so interesting to me is that when there's a perceived negative connotation or negative effect for people, the United States government becomes one of the most efficient, all government, state government, they become efficient when they are perceived to be doing something to you. When they're perceived to be doing something for you, they're terrible. They can't get nothing right. But now, oh my goodness, too many sci-fi movies, too many dystopian universe movies, man. Still people, man. They come on, dog. Like that.
Well, I mean, but it's gotta flow from the right to the left, man. That's I mean, it's like policies, right? It's the same argument over and over again. Just it's further down the road. It's another year, it's another decade with the same argument. It's just to keep is to keep things in motion. Because if we solve a unique problem or a very important problem, if you really think about how this place is built, if we really solve it, there's nothing else. There's no need for change for that.
Well, the wheel stops turning. Somebody got to be at the bottom of the wheel in order for it to get the momentum for it to go to the top.
Correct. So I'm not saying that it's not a right or wrong thing. It's just understanding how it works, right? And if we understand how things work, then
Yeah, but I just said. But yeah, I guess I say it from the point that those of us down here, we start talking all types of stuff. Listen, bro, until it's closed, it'll be closed. That's it. It's not closing. But what I'm saying is, when it does, right now, you need to act as though it's never going to close. Because if someone comes to get you, it's going to have a detrimental effect. People that have lots of money, they can pay their way out of it. So what does that mean? The same thing we talk about all the time. You thought you were going to get out of here without us talking about keeping your records in order? Never. Because I'm sure people trying to throw in the bag. They say, oh, shoot, the IRS closing anyways. I can just be reckless. That's really what I'm getting at. That people here probably like, yo, homie gonna close everything. I'm good, man. Yo, I don't need to do this no more. Yeah, okay, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a long way to get to that. Because I know people just probably like, yo, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot on the internet talking about claiming your dog as a security system. This whole thing with this, take your family on vacation and y'all have a meeting on Friday and you could deduct the whole vacation. 162. No, that's not. They don't do that. And this whole thing with kids, people using their kids, they putting them on boards, they doing all that. Dude, you don't even really have no board meetings. What are you talking about? And I ask you a question.
Scrutiny. That's the key word.
But what I'm saying is, people will be like, yo, I got my board is my wife and kids, right? Check this out, right? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Your board is your wife and kids. And then, it don't matter how old your kids are. Are you honestly telling me that your kids have an equal vote to you on the board? Like, for real, like, straight up.
No place in the world no place in the world that'll work, though.
No, but you saying it's your board of directors. So are they the junior board members or something? Like, so you saying that basically your kids and your wife could sandbag you? In what universe?
It happens, though. It happens.
I'm talking in business. I ain't talking about like what's for dinner. I'm talking about in business. You said this is your board of directors.
It happens in the movies. It happens in the movies.
Yeah, I ain't.
When the folks get divorced and the kids get the mother, or the mother grab with the kids and they join their things together and they take over and oust the father from the organization.
Okay, that's a soap opera. I'm talking about children that still live in your house that you still paying for their well-being. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your kids who you drop off at school. When they are your board of directors, do they have an equal vote?
Yeah, when they throw the cup of milk on the floor and make you pick it up, then they're superior. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the board of directors of your company. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, I'm trying to find out what's up. Yo, I'm just asking, bro.
I'm just checking all corners, man. That's all.
I know. I'm not talking family dynamic. I get the family dynamic. I'm talking about if I get a piece of paper and I say, oh, okay, so you report to your board the financial performance of it. They have an accountability to I mean,
following the bylaws.
They don't even know what the bylaws are.
10-year-old hit the mallet. Boom.
Listen.
Decision made.
Yeah, exactly.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah, like I think we're going to increase our spending on video games.
Right. And chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that for the operation to work right, I don't think I need to go to school anymore. I think it's really a waste. I mean, we already got the business. I'm here already. So
True.
why would I go to school? Come on, stop it. Stop it, people. Stop it. It's not. That's not your boy, dog. That's not your boy. I got to tell you a story offline, but where that came from, by the way. You gonna bug out.
I'm sure it came from.
No, you gonna bug out, though. Because I had the homie yesterday. I had Gene crack it up yesterday. I said, come on, man. But it came to me. I was like, wait a minute. If you're going to have your children as the board, that means they're supposed to have an equal vote to the other board members, right? And I was like, I haven't run into too many parents. And I'm talking children. I'm talking about children. That's what I'm saying. It's hilarious to me. So anyhow, I'm like, anything for a tax deduction. Yes.
True.
But remember, sometimes you take deductions and when it comes down to what you're saving, there's something called cost benefit, risk reward, however you want to do it. Does the and the exposure it puts you to match the value of the deduction? So, I've had people have all types of deductions. Another one this year, I just say, hey, how much should I deduct? As much as you can defend. That's it. I can't give you the number because there's no science. No practitioner can tell you with certainty that if you put this much on your return, you're going to get audited. Because guess what? They've been using algorithms. So how the heck am I supposed to know? And if I do that, you think I would just be doing your tax return for $300? No, I'm just kidding. If I knew absolutely how they were going to audit people, why would I do anyone's tax return? I'd just be like the oracle of representation. In fact, I probably could call you ahead of time and say, yo, they about to go.
You got to juke because they about to they about to go right. You got to juke left.
Yeah. Like, what the heck would I be on this side? I'd be on the other side if I knew for sure. Come on, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. So that was a informative. I mean, for some, you may have got something from it. For some, you may be continuing your case to be like, this dude is nuts.
Man, we just showed up today. That's all it was.
Yeah, so the takeaways from today, what was it? Think like an entrepreneur, act like a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other
book? The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Yeah. So that's the power. So you talked about it. So y'all got that. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, which is they putting in the subconscious to you that the IRS is going to close. I mean, straight up, that's what they doing. Oh, and might I add, the IRS layoffs that they probably going to have to rehire the people next week anyway. It was 7,000 people got laid off, and I don't minimize that because 7,000 people lost their job.
Yeah, that's
they didn't tell you that 100,000 people work for the IRS. So it's 7%. And I believe, I don't quote me, I believe if they laid everybody off on the government, it's like 8% of the total. Like, it's something stupid. Like, it's so minuscule to the overall spending.
Yeah.
That is almost like y'all.
It's everybody inclusive. I'm talking about through law enforcement and everything. So they take that big ass number.
Yeah, but it's like 8%. That's not necessarily with all the. I mean, our defense spending is off the chain.
Yeah, correct.
Our defense spending is off the chain. But Like, you don't see the pie graph of like the federal budget. Like, you notice they don't never report that. It's, oh, we're looking for inefficiencies and whatever. You know, that's like you saying you gonna pay off your debt. So you know what? I'm gonna stop my Netflix subscription at $9.99 a month, and that should get me over the top. It's like, yeah. Then you blame Netflix. Netflix, oh man, you know what? I ain't got no money because it's Netflix. I don't never watch it anyway. $7.99 a month. That's I need to cut this. Netflix is the devil. I need to get rid of it. Now, granted, if you got Netflix, Hulu, and all that, yeah, there's something. But still, but nothing matters. You know, you harp on the small thing, but you don't deal with the fact you got a $1,500 a month car payment. Yeah, well, maybe that might be the deal. That's what we are, people. And I will continue to say this until well, I ain't gonna give them the idea, but I'm gonna continue to say this for you. Think about. I'm not here to give you the answer. Just think about what you're hearing. People are saying stuff, and you're just like, what the heck?
Ask the question. Just ask questions.
It's so easy to get wrapped up in the emotional part and just be like, yeah, and get scared. They want to scare everybody, man.
Well, I mean, they're doing a good job. They're flooding it with information.
Absolutely. You know? But the strategy is to scare everybody so that you don't pay attention and you never say, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And to keep people divided, because divided people can be controlled. That's how you it in so many places. Like,
but you know what's crazy?
What's that?
The two words you just said. People don't pay attention because you are, well, let me see. You don't pay attention, but you're paying attention. You're paying whatever amount of attention you're utilizing, right? You get what I'm trying to say.
You're paying for it without paying attention. You're paying it out your behind, but you're not paying attention. So so basically you like the little or I need to like them things. You know, the little thing that flails. You know,
the bobblehead.
No, the joint that be like at a car dealer or at a store. And
yeah, we be in the wind.
Yeah, be in the wind.
Yeah, that like just moving around like
in the wind. That's American folks right now. That's where we are. That's straight up. That's it. That's what we got going on. And it's designed by all this stuff is here to distract us, even us. We don't
true.
Here to distract you.
True.
But unfortunately, we're not distracting you. We're dropping that truth, son. Anyway, all right, that's enough for today. That's it. We good. I'm good. I yield. I
want to thank everybody for showing up today and hanging out with us with our, take what you can from it. There's some jewels in here. Relax, relate, release. This is just another day of, acting like an entrepreneur and thinking like a CEO. Power the subconscious mind with all the content we dropping. Episode 83. You reach us at, hello at Heyward-CPA. Drop your questions in. Shoot us a call. Go to our website, schedule a consultation. Those tax consultations, advisory consultation. Don't forget, on the business front, we got biztherapycoaching.com. Okay? B-I-Z, therapycoaching.com. Check us out. Now, for the books, we got BYOB, Be Your Own Bookkeeper. Check us out at Heyward-CPA.com. Schedule a consultation on our site. We can talk to you about your accounting and bookkeeping program and get you to understand how to place your eyes on that prize, which is the paperwork that defines those three principles.
That's right.
Income, balance, cash flow, which will help you in perpetuity for tax planning, individually, business-wise, having some money in your pocket, making sure your business plan supports your lifestyle plan and all the other stuff that we can throw at you verbatim, right? So reach out to us. Stay tuned for us. We'll be back in the next 2 weeks after tax season, after the deadline. But we'll be, I think it is. It's not
before.
Oh, right. Just before. Okay, well, don't wait too late to get to us, though. Just get with us now, and and we can get you going in the right direction for anything. But again, don't forget to give us some questions. We love questions. We like scenarios because we go through scenarios during the week and we try to bring them to the show and just kind of just use them as some showcase. But give us some scenarios, give us some questions, give us your thoughts, give us some consideration. Until next episode,
peace.
Peace.